Hi, and with invites just about to go out for the Battle for Azeroth Alpha at long last, I'm going to start on my series of BFA, well, beta news it says there because effectively that's what it is, but they're calling it Alpha to begin with, much like they did with Legion, and the first one is going to be on Inscription. A little bit of data mined information that I saw very briefly last night, and then it sort of seemed to disappear completely from view on MMO Champion. I've not been able to find the same thing on Wowhead. I'm almost hoping that I didn't dream it, because I definitely saw it was there. So consider this a little bit of speculation, but I'm pretty sure it has been data mined. I just cannot now find the source again, so there won't be a link downstairs. Sorry about that. Now, Inscription in Legion, just to give a quick recap on this one, has been a disappointing profession for me. Legion was one where they really wanted to emphasize trade skills, and they did the quests for them and all the rest of it, which, all right, fine. It got a little bit tedious when you're doing it character after character after character. If you did that, as I did, most people would not, and it sort of was okay, I guess. But nonetheless, they really put trade skills on the map. They had real focus on, we want to make trade skills exciting again. But Inscription for me really fell flat. And I suppose part of that was the fact that the main bread and butter of Inscription was always the glyphs. Now, glyphs still exist, but they're really cosmetic effects in the large. You don't even have to worry about them. In old days, if you've not been playing World of Warcraft for that long, glyphs were a part of customizing your character. They were a power thing as well as some cosmetic ones. Well, that's sort of disappeared, so you can basically do without glyphs altogether, so that's not such a big thing for scribes. But they brought in a couple of new things. The first thing they brought in was the tomes with which to change your talents. Now, we always had these before, but they were much cheaper. You just buy them off a vendor. So now bringing these in, and sure, some people will want to keep a stock of them to change talents when they need to, but it's quite expensive. Most people would just rather not. And as a result, I know some people actually do make some money out of it. I was talking about this on my stream, and one of my viewers said, oh yeah, they make money out of it. And if you are a scribe, by the way, put in the comments below, because I'm actually really interested in this, what you make money off, if you make any money at all. And when I say make money, I want you to consider the following. I don't consider it making money if what you're selling on the auction house is for less than the cost of the reagents that make it. Because there are some people who do that. Think, oh yes, I make money off that, and I say yes, but you're using a greater value in herbs to mill to make the stuff, the inks and stuff to actually make the thing. Oh yes, but I'm a herbalist as well, so I get that for free. So it's like, but no, because you could sell the herbs on the auction house and make more gold. So I mean, actually make gold off it. And so you had those, but I don't think it's all that brilliant. Most people are just going to do without it. Most people who would have changed talents before probably won't now. Some people will still feel compelled to, or at least that it's worthwhile. Then we had the Vantus runes. Now, the Vantus runes, of course, are much more in use by raiders, of course. If you're working on a progress boss, why wouldn't you want some extra versatility? Gives you extra damage, also gets you extra damage reduction. Fantastic. Always use that. But again, limited sales there. You can sell it to a maximum of one raider per week, because that whole thing lasts for a week. That wasn't all that great either. Certainly wasn't all that exciting. There's the Dark Moon cards, as always, but of course that tends to be the biggest seller at the start of an expansion. If you charge ahead, get yourself leveled, get your profession leveled, and you're able to stock the auction house with the Dark Moon trinkets early on, very early in the first couple of weeks, then absolutely you're going to make a mint. But much later on, less so, because those trinkets are not the only source of trinkets at that item level anymore. There are much easier ways to get it. So although they'll still sell for less than the cost of reagents, because I have a scribe, one of my characters, and I have to say I couldn't sell Dark Moon trinkets at less than cost, at more than cost, I should say, sorry. So certainly on the realms I've been on in the last few months at least, there's 2 realms, I couldn't make a profit from it, but maybe you could on yours. But on to Battle for Azeroth. It's actually sounding much more interesting that we're actually going to want the services of scribes, because I saw data mined, we'll go into it eventually, an item that they can make that gives you a quest. Okay, we've had these before. It's like a daily quest that allows you to complete the quest and you can get some rep. So obviously a rep grind is always a thing, isn't it? This is a way of using something that scribes can make. We've had these sort of things before, that will allow you to just do a little quest. So there's involvement in there, going out into the world. It satisfies Blizzard's need to get us out there, get us out of our city hubs. And it's the sort of thing that scribes, not just in the first few weeks, but you would hope certainly every time a new faction comes into view. If these are indeed available for all factions, they may not be, but certainly it's the sort of thing that should keep selling. That should give you a reason to be a scribe, because yeah, I can make 10 of these a day and sell them, and I'll sell them for a reasonable amount because people will always want them. And even if it's between patches, a lot of people got exalted maybe and don't need them so much. Well, maybe they're leveling alts as well, and then they will need them. So that's just a little bit of a snippet of news, but as I say, unfortunately I can't really see where it is, but it sounds awesome to me. I'm sure I'm not dreaming it, by the way. I was only joking there. I did definitely see it, and I think that's the sort of thing that's going to make me think, yeah, actually I'm going to make my scribe one of the first characters to level, because I always have a lot of alts. I always prioritize which ones I want leveling in. I don't know what it's like for everyone else. Like, my main alt will be the one that I probably am going to play the most and want to gear up a little bit regardless of professions, but after that I do it in order of which professions do I definitely need. And Inscription hasn't been top of the list, I have to say, in this expansion. This may well move it there, because again, with multiple alts, the fact that I'll be able to make these for myself will actually be really useful, because I'll want them to make it on multiple characters. And again, the idea that we can have this thing that gives us something to do a little daily, if you're into that, and you get some rep from it, it's another source of rep, which is always welcome. Sounds like a good idea to me, and is maybe putting scribes back on the map. In addition to which, of course, the traditional scribe weapon, they can usually make staves and offhands, which are useless in Legion because we used one weapon throughout the entire expansion. When we move back to weapons in the next expansion, that might be, again, much more of a useful seller potentially, especially if you can do it at a reasonable item level. Then it looks like, yeah, if you've abandoned scribes in this expansion because it's a bit crap, actually in the next expansion they might be looking a lot better. So there you go, first little bit of BFA beta news. Hopefully, or alpha as you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, hopefully there'll be some more of these coming up over the next few days. Stay tuned. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, share with other people who might be interested. Comment down below. As I say, I really am interested in what you make your money from in Inscription. And until next time, I'll see you later.